Warner Brothers is about to release Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This idea has been in development for years. It was even talked about before the Christopher Nolan series was the seed of an idea. It's not hard to see why. Batman and Superman are the two biggest superheroes of all time. And superheroes facing off against each other isn't a new idea. It's been featured in films before. We all love to see superheroes face off against each other, but does it actually work when it comes to these two? Let's talk about the problem with Batman vs. Superman. If you're going to have Batman fight Superman, you have to come up with a good reason. The characters are often portrayed as the best of friends and great crime fighting partners. Sadly, due to their strong moral code, it's hard to come up with a good reason for the two to clash. Sometimes it's due to a misunderstanding.
So, what can you do?
Misunderstandings are often used to pit superheroes against each other, but when it comes to these two, they become very uncharacteristic. Superman comes off as a little naive and too overconfident, whereas Batman just turns into a straight-up asshole.
That's enough. I think you got your answer.
He immediately tries to beat the shit out of Superman, while Superman, who could easily disarm Batman with the super speed, just sits there and takes it until something clicks and he decides to finally fight back. Another catalyst for Batman fighting Superman is Superman becoming mind-controlled. It's either Poison Ivy using a toxin, or nanomachines in his brain, or red kryptonite, or possession, or something stupid like that. It kind of ruins the fight, because it goes from Batman vs. Superman to Batman saving Superman with punching.
You need to fight whatever they're doing to you. We need you, Clark. The world needs Clark Kent.
Once we figure out why they're fighting, we have to figure out how they'll fight. The characters couldn't be more mismatched. Each story has to jump through hoops and figure out a way for these two to fight without Superman obviously winning. The ways they come up with almost never work.
You are green. Join the club.
One way to have them fight is to reduce Superman's powers. The most obvious way to do this is with kryptonite, usually green. It's been established that Batman keeps a green kryptonite ring in his belt for times where Superman may go rogue or if he has to fight another Kryptonian. In Hush, he uses the ring to deliver some devastating blows to Superman. Now, I know kryptonite weakens Superman, but he should still retain some residual strength, and Batman's hand should probably shatter with each punch. But we'll let this slide because kryptonite is historically hilariously inconsistent. It would probably be better for Batman to use gold kryptonite or red sun rays, which reduces Superman's powers, but doesn't risk killing him. But then you can't have Superman fly around, shoot lasers out of his face, and I guess that'll ruin some of the fun. Or Superman could just forget he has powers, like in the clip for the new movie. Batman throws a smoke grenade, and Superman just wanders into an obvious trap, forgetting he has X-ray vision.
I can still see you.
The second way to match them is to give Batman armor, which is so stupid I can't believe people keep falling for it. Batman wears armor all the time and gets his ass kicked. Yet when he fights Superman, he's suddenly unstoppable. In Superman the movie, Superman's strong enough to connect two separate tectonic plates. In Superman Returns, he hurtles a piece of the Earth's crust into space. In Man of Steel, he shatters an Arctic landscape, rips apart a robot from another planet, and even tears through the hull of a ship designed to withstand the pressures of interstellar travel. He even takes on other Kryptonians in armor more advanced than anything Batman could ever come up with, and he beats them easily. But sure, a guy in a cheap Iron Man suit should be able to take him out no problem. A man in the metal suit means nothing to Superman. One of his biggest villains, Metallo, is literally a metal man powered by kryptonite, and Superman beats him regularly. My biggest problem with Batman vs. Superman, and most superhero fights in general, is that there are no real stakes involved. The characters will knock each other around for a bit and then they'll make up. Even the title of the new movie tells you everything you need to know. Batman will v Superman, and then the Justice League will form. Spoilers! You can't have the characters kill each other because of their strong moral code, but you also can't ruin their friendship because that will affect future stories where they team up. So as a result, most of these fights are just disappointing. Even in Dark Knight Returns, when Batman dies, it's not really a result of anything Superman does. Also, he doesn't actually die. A lot of people think Batman is the winner of that fight, but Superman's powers were heavily reduced and Batman had outside assistance from Green Arrow and Robin. These fights only ever seem to work when one or both characters are anti-heroes, like the Punisher or Lobo, or rage monsters like the Hulk. But why do people keep getting invested in this fight? I think most people who like Batman vs. Superman are Batman fans who don't like Superman and don't read him because they think he's too powerful, despite the fact they've been coming up with obstacles for him to overcome for decades. If you want to see just a regular guy beat up Superman, read any comic with Lex Luthor. It's basically the same thing, but better because there's actual stakes involved. Lex Luthor has no problem trying to kill Superman.
I can't think of a morning I haven't woken up with the thought of strangling you.
He's laced his DNA with kryptonite, turned a Kryptonian ship into a robot, and even created a gold kryptonite cannon which can make Kryptonians plummet and fall to their death. Let's see Batman do that. So there's my problem with Batman vs. Superman. The characters are inconsistent, there's never a convincing setup, and ultimately it amounts to nothing. I can see how superheroes fighting can be fun from time to time, but I wouldn't try to build a whole film around that concept. So of course Hollywood has 2 films built around that concept coming out. I'm sure they'll be great. Versus films are always the highlight of any series and are in no way an indicator that a franchise is running out of ideas. Idiots.